Hello and welcome back to the Audio Dad Chronicles. I'm Shale and today we're delving into new music by Men Without Hats. Men Without Hats, who you might remember from such hits as The Safety Dance and Pop Goes the World, are back with their first new song in several years, and it is called I Heart the 80's, or I Love the 80's. And who doesn't? So let's just get right into this one, shall we? Because, well, I love the 80's.
I love the 80's. I love the 80's.
Right off the bat, we got synthesizers and guitars. They understood the assignment. E-drums, this is good. This is fun. This is what I want. A little bit of CanCon in our day, never wrong.
So much fun back in 1981. Ain't no place I'd rather be except for 1983.
They definitely got the video down right. I love this so far. That's got a good 80's aesthetic vibe to it. Now this video, as it happens, was directed by a fellow by the name of Dave Benedict. And sticking with our CanCon theme, well, here we are. Dave Benedict is most known as being the bass player in the band Default.
Well, this is not for real, afraid to feel. I just hit the floor, don't ask for more. I wasted my time, I wasted my time.
But Dave also is an accomplished and accredited videographer and video director, and here he is putting this video together for us for Men Without Hats, so that's pretty cool.
Everybody felt alive back in 1985. Everything was just like heaven. It was 1987. The 80's. I love the 80's. The decade that made me. I love the 80's. Terminator, come and save me. I love the 80's. Gentlemen and ladies. I love the 80's. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Party like it's 82. Dancing safely across the floor.
Safety dancing across the floor, maybe?
Like we did in 84. Brand new record by the Fix. Sounds like 1986. Get your Walkman, grab a tape. Market 1988.
What was in my Walkman in 1988? Let's see. I had Back in Black by AC/DC. That was a regular player. I definitely listened to a fair amount of Poison. I absolutely had a Men Without Hats album back then too. Interesting.
Moonwalk, arcade, 2 dots, Live Aid.
Now Live Aid, that was a defining moment in the 80's. I definitely remember that concert. I tuned in when that came and when that broadcast, that was definitely a big moment in time. The song's throwing back to the 80's. It's got a good vibe to it. It's got a good feel. Definitely has a good sound. Full of hooks, good lyrics. Now I learned that this song was actually produced by a fellow by the name of Brian House. Brian House, in the early days, back in my early days in my career as a guitar tech and a lighting director and such in the clubs in Vancouver, Brian was actually the singer in a band called DDT. Now, DDT, great ska, funk, punk band, high energy, two singers jumping around, going crazy. They were a sight to see. They were eventually signed by Lars Ulrich of Metallica to his record label. They produced one album before disbanding. Now, when they disbanded, one singer, Brian House, he went to start a band, Closure. And the other singer, he went on to start a band called Showcore. And Showcore's guitarist is this guy. That's Show Murray, I believe is his name. And he was the guitar player in Showcore. So that's kind of an interesting little full circle there where the producer, co-songwriter of this song was in a band with a guy who was in a band in this song. The song was directed by, or the video, pardon me, was directed by Dave Benedict of Default, another Canadian band. So we got can rock happening all over the place on this. Now, Brian Howe is the producer. And not only did he produce this album, or at least this song, in his home studio and mixed and all that and co-wrote the song, but he's also got a career going still to this day, and he's mostly known as a producer and songwriter. And he's worked with a lot of large acts like Skillet, Nickelback, and so many others that I can't even think of. I would have to pull up the list. It's a healthy list. He's got quite the impressive resume, really great guy. And really good songwriter, and it's showing in this song here because this is good so far. I'm loving the heck out of this. So let's get right back into it, shall we?
The 80s, I love the 80s, the decade that made me. I love the 80s, Terminator, come and save me. I love the 80s, Latch came crazy, crazy about the 80s.
That melody sounded familiar. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to place it at the moment. I can't think of it, but it's definitely an 80s classic that they were borrowing from. And I definitely saw a little throw out to Queen with the orientation of their heads, just like the Bohemian Rhapsody video. Anywhere they can get a shout out or a throw out to the 80s they're doing here, and this is great. I love this. This is a lot of fun. 80s rocked the world, and in the 80s you could go to a movie theater and watch a 3D movie, and that's what those big glasses they were wearing there. They were red on one side and blue on the other. And when you put them on and you watch a special kind of a 3D movie, it would take the lighting and the colors and blend them just so and give them a bit of a 3D effect. They do it a lot differently these days, but back then that's how 3D movies were done. We all had to wear these red and blue filter glasses.
Spiked hair, tongue rock, who cares? I love the 80s, the decade that made me. Terminator, come and save me.
Only coming to save anybody.
Gentlemen and ladies, I love the 80s. I love the 80s.
A little bit of a Max Headroom look there with that screen and that layout. That's pretty fun.
Decade that made me. Terminator, come and save me. Latch came crazy. I love the 80s.
So there it is. That was a lot of fun. Men Without Hats are back, and they're saying so, and they're saying that they love the 80s, and who's to argue with that? That was a lot of fun. That had some great throwbacks, the video, the lyrics, melody callbacks to other songs, calling out The Fix and The Cure and a bunch of others along the way. That was cool. I like that. That's exactly what you want from a band like Men Without Hats. Having fun, not taking things too seriously, throwing back to their classics, throwing back to other classics and other eras. They're on the road right now, they're touring, they're having a great time, putting on a good show, entertaining the crowds. Another slice of CanCon out there doing good. Really proud of that, really proud of them, really proud to have affiliations and have worked with some of the people involved in this production in the past and in my career as a roadie. And yeah, that was just a lot of fun. Really glad to see those faces again and hear those names again and see that they're all still out there doing good things. So thanks for coming by. I really enjoyed that and hope we can do it again sometime. And until then, I'll see you again.